Hey, fifth grade. I am going to read the next part of chapter 2 of Percy Jackson's The Lightning Thief. Just so you know, I want to make sure Disney has given me permission to read this book. It is for my classroom purposes only. I'm not trying to get rich and get famous, but I hope that you've been listening. I have to do these in short little snippets because these chapters are pretty long. So if you are with me so far, you know that Percy's on his way home and Grover and Percy are in the back of a bus. And so now things are about to get really exciting. So I will not keep talking. I will go ahead and dive right in. So Grover handed Percy a note card, a business card, good Lord, that said, Grover Underwood, Keeper, Half-Blood Hill, Long Island, New York, 800-000-0009. And it basically, he had said that, Percy's thought all along that he's been protecting Grover, and Grover's trying to say that he's the one that's protecting Percy. So, we're about halfway down the second column. There was a huge grinding noise under our feet. Black smoke poured from the dashboard, and the whole bus filled with a smell like rotten eggs. The driver cursed and limped the Greyhound over to the side of the highway. After a few minutes clanking around in the engine compartment, the driver announced that we'd all have to get off. Grover and I filed outside with everybody else. We were on a stretch of country road, no place you'd notice if you didn't break down there. On our side of the highway was nothing but maple trees and litter from passing cars. On the other side, across 4 lanes of asphalt shimmering with afternoon heat, was an old-fashioned fruit stand. The stuff on sale looked really good, heaping boxes of blood-red cherries and apples, walnuts and apricots, jugs of cider, and a clawfoot tub full of ice. There were no customers, just 3 old ladies sitting in a rocking chair in the shade of a maple tree, knitting the biggest pair of socks I'd ever seen. I mean, these socks were the size of sweaters, but they were clearly socks. The lady on the right knitted one of them. The lady on the left knitted the other. The lady in the middle held an enormous basket of electric blue yarn. All 3 women looked ancient, with pale faces wrinkled like fruit leather, silver hair tied back in white bandanas, bony arms sticking out of bleached cotton dresses. The weirdest thing was, they seemed to be looking right at me. I looked over at Grover to say something about this and saw that the blood had drained from his face. His nose was twitching. Grover, I said, hey man, tell me they're not looking at you. They are, aren't they? Yeah, weird, huh? Think those socks would fit me? Not funny, Percy, not funny at all. The old lady in the middle took out a huge pair of scissors, gold and silver, long-bladed like shears. I heard Grover catch his breath. We're getting on the bus, he told me. Come on. What? I said. It's 1,000 degrees in there. Come on! He pried open the door and climbed inside, but I stayed back. Across the road, the old ladies were still watching me. The middle one cut the yarn, and I swear I could hear that snip across 4 lanes of traffic. Her 2 friends balled up the electric blue socks, leaving me wondering who they could possibly be for, Sasquatch or Godzilla. At the rear of the bus, the driver wrenched a big chunk of smoking metal out of the engine compartment. The bus shuddered and the engine roared back to life. The passengers cheered. Darn right, yelled the driver. He slapped the bus with his hat. Everybody back on board! Once we got going, I started feeling feverish, as if I'd caught the flu. Grover didn't look much better. He was shivering and his teeth were chattering. Grover? Yeah? What are you not telling me? He dabbed his forehead with his shirt sleeve. Percy, what did you see back at the fruit stand? You mean the old ladies? What's it about them, man? They're not like Mrs. Dodds, are they? His expression was hard to read, but I got the feeling that the fruit stand ladies were something much, much worse than Mrs. Dodds. He said, Just tell me what you saw. The middle one took out her scissors, and she cut the yarn. He closed his eyes and made a gesture with his fingers that might have been crossing himself, but it wasn't. It was something else. Something almost older. He said, "You saw her snip the cord?" "Yeah, so?" But even as I said it, I knew it was a big deal. "This is not happening," Grover mumbled. He started chewing at his thumb. "I don't want this to be like the last time." "What last time?" "Always 6th grade. They never get past 6th grade." "Grover," I said, because he was really starting to scare me, "what are you talking about?" "Let me walk you home from the bus station. Promise me." This seemed like a strange request to me, but I promised he could. "Is this like a superstition or something?" I asked. No answer. "Grover, that snipping of the yarn, does that mean somebody is going to die?" He looked at me mournfully, like he was already picking the kind of flowers I'd like best on my coffin. So that was the end of chapter 2, and this is a shorter read, but than the last time I read this chapter out loud. But I hope you're wondering, the suspense is building. Percy is very close, but not as close as you'd think, to figuring out what is going on. Keep watching for the activities I'm posting, little quizzes and things like that, little trivia and activities for the story. But I hope you're just enjoying reading with me as we embark on this distance learning journey. So I hope this finds you well. Watch for chapter 3, which you see will be called Grover Unexpectedly Loses His Pants. So nothing but action from here on out.